Hey folks, welcome back. Sorry for the short delay in getting these up, but yeah, I have to go back and record some of them. The game is not over yet, but I yeah, gotta go back and do it. So here we go. We've got some Shaitan doing some raiding here, and this was taken by I think Spine Devils a turn earlier. And what happened over here? Here is Phantasmal Warriors from the Mist-Covered Highlands. For those of you who don't know, Mist-Covered Highlands, you get attacked by a series of bad events, kind of, and eventually you get a tower that gives you Windmasters. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you get some air gems. It's a curse because you get attacked like 4 times. And it's a blessing again because later in the game you're going to get an Air 2 Mage. But for us, I don't know. Not sure it matters. And you're not guaranteed to get it. Sometimes you won't get it. But a lot of times you will. But as a nation that already has Air 2s, it's a little bit more annoying. But, you know, we're still happy for the Air Gem. Okay, so what's going on? Well, last episode, you saw us claim this throne, which is excellent. Or not claim, but capture. We still need to claim it. And I've got my scouts sneaking in. I remembered the prophet. And, yeah, he's going to go claim this throne. What are we doing? Well, Pangea has taken this. We're site searching, and I'm a deputy of Pangea. We are supporting his ascension. Yeah, we're going to site search around, and we're going to just try to catch up in research. We are going for Enchantment 7, and, you know, honestly, we might switch this up and go Construction 6 just to get lanterns, because right now our research is garbage. Enchantment 7 is going to give us some stuff. It's going to give us... well, you know, like Serpent's Blessing is a big one. It's going to give us access to Earthblood Deepwell and Eternal Pyre. And those are pretty important. If you're a small player, they're one way to kind of make up for it. And a lot of times if, you know, like in my Airmore game, I didn't even really try to control globals. And that's because I was big and scary and clearly in position 1. And when you're clearly in position 1 in a game like this, it's very likely either people will attack you if you start putting globals up, or they will try to combine and take it down or overcast you. And, you know, I can potentially share some of these globals with somebody else. Like Pan and I are buddies. We could maybe split Earthblood Deepwell. Or I could split Eternal Pyre with somebody. Or I could put it up myself. Because I'll probably have the gems to cast it by the time I get there. And especially if I did both of them and I did one with different players, you know, it's a good deal for me. It's much less likely to get overcast. And if it does... I lose less out of it. And it's a safe move for me to do as a small player. It's a way to get some economy and start having, you know, a chance. The thing, though, is I want to be a little careful, too, in how I talk about this part of the game, because there's a lot of players go into like a complacent phase where you're just sitting here and you're hitting intern and you're basically playing SimCity. You're not doing anything. Your brain turns off. And in some ways, we're not exactly trying to win. I mean, we are, but we're kind of also okay with making decisions which are bad that's going to allow Pangea to win. But we're not going to turn our brain off, or we're going to try not to. We're going to really try to focus on getting our blood economy going, focus on getting research. We have the research we need to get ghouls or ghoulas out. So we need to be doing that. You know, like we need to get wolves summoned. We've got wolves going here. We're blood hunting. Once we have our blood hunting going, we're going to be summoning ghoulas, which we're starting to do right now. So these are the things we have to do, because we actually cannot fight Pangea if we ever needed to. They're not who we're thinking about fighting, but we really can't fight almost any of the nations with conventional weapons right now. That's because Fire Shock Resistance, Spirit Sight, yeah, you just get completely owned if you're using Jin. We can do asymmetric stuff with our Shaitan. We can try to use our Mage Core some, but even, you know, all the evocation stuff we were planning on doing, if people have Fire Shock Resistance, it's not as good. Not to say we can't do it, because like Pillar of Fire will still work, Thunderstrike will still work, but, you know, it's not as good. So, yeah, that's what we got. Trying to think what else we have. I think that's about it for this turn. We're going to be claiming this. We're building a palisade here. We're site searching. We're getting blood going. We're going for enchantment to get research stuff. And let's go ahead and go to the next turn, which is going to be turn 37. In some of these, I know some of these we're going to, I'm not going to have my actual completed turn in here. We're just going to have like the turn file. But that's okay. This may or may not be one of them. No, this actually is how little I have going on this turn. I'm just like hitting next. I've assigned all my orders. This is my completed turn, guys. Like we are a bit dormant. We're sneaking over here. We're going to start blood hunting in this place. I don't think I have any blood mages here, but yeah, we're basically just going to be summoning ghoulas and getting our blood going. This is getting hunted. You know, I probably should do like another pack of wolves here or two to get the unrest down a bit. But yeah, we're just going to be blood hunting this. It is not looking good for Ulm over here. And Helheim has taken this. We will be taking this and putting our flag on it very shortly. I don't think this turn, but I basically offered Ulm, hey, I can take this and you'll be set. And I'll send him money. And I don't know if that's going into effect this turn or next, but we'll be doing that. We'll be basically holding it. We'll send him income and our flag will protect it. And if Helheim wants to fight, I'm free to fight him right now because he was one of the gangbangers. And so far, death to the gangbangers is our slogan. And Agartha also kind of losing ground against TNN. He's reported that he's killed some of them. You can see he's got some umbral stacks running around. You know, Agartha certainly has ways to deal with elves. But apparently he's slowly getting whittled down. And I would say the player, Ballin, does not have a super high tolerance for micro. And you need a lot of micro to deal with elves efficiently. So I think he's kind of I think he's starting to fail real-life morale checks a little bit. Plus, I think TNN's taking some smart fights off of him. So, and those things kind of go hand in hand together. So Agartha is kind of getting eaten here. I know Pangea is thinking about going on to TNN, which I'm agnostic over. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. If they do go on TNN, I'll probably try to snipe Agartha. And I also have word that Sakane may be going on to Helheim. Helheim has a bunch of things they can do. They have really good research. Sakane's playing Airmore. And so anyway, they have Wailing Winds, I think, already. That was one of the things they had when they were attacking Ulm. Because Helheim has lots of death air cross path. And yeah, so they've got all this stuff. But Airmore has it too. They've got Wailing Winds. And then what's different is Airmore has big quantities of troops, and he has gladiators and stuff, which are actually pretty okay, especially with some buffs on them at dealing with elves. And yeah, I don't think there's any real decisive advantage that the elves are going to have fighting into Airmore. I don't know if this attack has started yet or it's about to, but this potentially will open up two things. One is it can open up me to get either... So Ulm was a boy to me. So either Ulm is going to fight them off, and basically, if he doesn't lose much infrastructure, then we're not going to get involved. We'll give him all his land back, etc. If he gets basically killed, it gives us the opportunity to potentially get Ulm stuff, and then if Pan eats Agartha, we potentially get to get some of the Agartha stuff, which will help. It'll help Sakane kind of finish off this war. I mean, Sakane would probably like this land, but we'll be able to get to it a lot faster than he will, because Sakane is attacking, like, I think through this front, and Helheim's big, you know, because Helheim has part of Kalem, so he's attacking through the Kalem front, like here. Oh yeah, he already has started, because we can see the flag. So yeah, he's fighting Helheim now. Slowly, I think he's coming primarily through this front, like through here and then down. And the elves have been attacking this way into Ulm. So this part, like if I take this from Helheim, it will actually help. Sakane probably won't mind that much. I mean, he could have some stuff that he runs up here with, but I think he's primarily his vector attack is down this way. So anyway, those are kind of our opportunities that we have coming up. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next turn. 67. Okay, wait, where are we? 38 is what I'm looking for. Okay, we summon another Gula. We get a Watcher here, and these Watchers are actually real nice. I'll show you this. Okay, I don't really have a script on them. We'll put a script on them later, but you can buff them up with Earthmite, and they shoot even harder. You can put Iron Skin on them. They're a little more resistant to physical damage. You can have, and you have to patrol with them anyway to get them to patrol. And so you have to waste a mage turn to patrol with them. Now you want to do it usually with one of these Earth 1 dudes, which I don't really have one, but an Earth 1 of these guys, with a gem, it can do Earth Might on him, or, summon Earth Power, then Earth Might, and then you can do Iron Warriors on him. So you can kind of do some fun stuff with Watchers. Watchers are very good patrollers. They're pretty gem efficient too. They're just hard to cast. We're going to bring him over here. This is basically my Watcher caster. You need to be Air 3, Earth 1. So he's going to come over here and he's going to cast a Watcher over here where we're also patrolling. And here you can see Ulm is taking this stuff back. And we have coordinated with Ulm that we are going to take this from him. And we're going to plant our flags here. And these will start sending him. I haven't done it yet. But I also sent him a message. Grippa, I have no scouts, so I can't know. But it seems you were in the death throes. And I have to get my flag on your stuff before Helheim does. I think I tell him this in Discord too, so I don't think there's going to be an army here. I think they have rolled out. I've made him aware of this in real time. But he's also got a big Helheim army on his cap right now, and I don't think he knows how to kill it. And I think he's had like one or two... He's lost a lot in the counter raiding war. Like, he has not been killing the raiders. He's been getting wrecked by them. And I've tried to help him with some counter raiding thug ideas. But I think it's a little bit too little too late. And he's lost a lot of his actual armies. So we're going to be moving in, sitting on top of these forts, and basically camping out up here. You can see still a fair number of TNN flags, but they're switching back and forth between TNN and Agartha. We found a magic site at Well of Whitewater. That's basically it for this turn. We'll go ahead and go to turn 39. Some of this too, guys, the upload schedule may slow down because you can see we actually are going to, spoiler, we're going to make it pretty deep into the late game, but I want to be careful about how deep I get into this because I'm going to end up doing spoilers for, because the people are going to be watching this who are in the game. So I don't know how far I'll get because some of it too will be like I'm putting globals up and stuff, and I don't exactly want to give away how much is in each of them. So this series will probably have to go on pause for a little bit, and I'll put one up, like a different series up. Because Dark Knowledge, we found a Windswept Catacombs. It actually is a really, really nice site. Death and Air. We cast Watcher. Oh wait, this was this turn. One second, let me go to 39. So I don't know, we might get around, we'll probably get to where I start having globals go up. This is not my turn. And then we might have to take a brief pause. Okay, we found a Well of Pestilence, awesome. A Farm of Plenty, one of the worst sites in the game, and a Glen of Verdant Greenery. Yeah, and then we have a battle here where we suicide this Svartalfin here, and he comes back as a white mage. I wanted to do this, I mean, not only do I get rid of his upkeep, but I have a chance of getting a Death 3, which was going to be worth it to me. And we send our... So yeah, we had told Grippa that we were going to take this, and he moved his guys out, and we put our flag here. And we're basically building a siege crew. I hardly have any units because we've been focusing on infrastructure and getting mages out, and I did not have a lot of income, disposable income anyway. Like, this is basically all spent on my capital. So we don't have a ton of siege chaff, but we're going to get the little bit of siege chaff we have. I think these guys, I can't remember if we bring them up here. Yeah, I haven't done this turn, so I don't have my turn orders. We're bringing basically everybody up here we can that's not involved in blood hunting patrolling to start sieging down this fort. And my assumption is I'm going to take this fort if Grippa loses his cap. If he can defend his cap, then we'll just sit on it and give it back to him when he's done. We're going to go ahead and site search here, I think. And basically, this is what we're doing. We're camping out. We're getting our gulas made. I guess I probably need I could have taken this off her and then made a gula this turn. I don't know if I did that. But yeah, we're getting blood hunting going. We've got 2 people blood hunting here. I'm going to put this on her and she would blood hunt. And yeah, we're getting like a trickle of blood slaves coming in. Not a lot, but like, 25 a turn. And that's almost a gula a turn. And so this will scale up reasonably quickly. But this is our only way back into the game, because basically our nation, nothing we have, aside from our Shaitan, are going to be useful. I don't think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go to turn 40. And turn 40, probably be the last turn for this episode. You can see these are kind of, we're doing the little bit we can that's important. We're getting our blood economy going. We're getting our site searching going. And we're teching up. We're getting kind of close to having an enchantment 7, at which point we can do Earthblood Deepwell. And I believe I have arranged with Pangea to cast it. And I'm going to cast it, which is going to be good for him because it's going to take heat off of him because people aren't going to be worried. First of all, he's probably the biggest player. If he were to cast it, it would look bad. So it's like a stealthy way for him to put it up. We're going to claim this throne, by the way. I don't want that 100 gold a turn. But it's a stealthy way for him to put it up. And we're going to give him 50% of the income from it. So that's that. Okay, that was turn 40. Turn 41. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much going on here, guys. We're moving this guy over here so that if we do siege this, we can take it. I should get a scout over here, but guys, I don't have money to make mages. Like, we're so goddamn poor. But it would be nice to have a scout over here and watch the battle on top of Agrippa's capital. There's also a very large amount of Centaur over here, and I'm not exactly sure what this is all about. I don't know if he's getting ready to vulture on Ulm or what's going to happen. Over here, I've lost some of my little scouting that I had, but we can see more TNN flags popping up. I don't know how the counter rating's going, but I've been talking pretty regularly with Agartha just to see how it's going. And he's giving slightly optimistic things, but he's also saying it's not going great. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. I guess we'll do one more turn. We're only at 17 minutes. And there's really not much for me that's happening. There's a lot for other players that's happening. Let's see if we can pull this up. And yeah, you can see I've been sending stuff to Ulm every turn. We got fire gems from Kailasa. This is because we sent, and I missed it, but we sent Kailasa a bunch of our fire gems. And we split casting, because I was talking to him. I asked if he wanted me to cast it. He said he was going to. And I said, oh, well, how about we just split it rather than fight over it? And he agreed to that. So fighting over globals is painful too. So anyway, we figured out who could cast faster, and he could cast it one turn sooner than I could. So I sent him my fire gems for a 50-50 cast, and he's going to do the same thing with me. And Agartha is going to be sending me, either this turn or next, his Earth Gems, and I'm going to be splitting Earthblood Deepwell with him. So we're kind of making two trades where we benefit two other players, and they're both big players. I'm a little one. So I benefit twice, and they each benefit once. But, I invested twice, too. And also, I'm really small and weak. So we've claimed the throne. We're building a palisade, because at this point, Helheim has taken Ulm's cap, and you can see he's now raiding elsewhere, and there's not much left for Ulm. But interestingly, I think Airmore has been making major progress. Airmore attacked at a very good time, because Helheim was really out of position, and they had done critical damage to Ulm. So much critical damage, it didn't make sense for them to, in their mind, to pull back and retreat to defend that core Helheim land. But Airmore has been pushing into it very severely. And so now Helheim's going to kind of have to do a retreat before I think there's another Ulmish fort down here, before he can fully finish off Ulm. And so it's because he's lost his fort, we're going to go ahead and storm the castle here. And I'm sending these guys in. We've got some guys on hold and attack rear, and we're making some air elementals, and we're doing legions of steel on them and stuff. There's nothing inside, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, we're going to be building a fort, and my assumption is we're going to keep some of this. I probably need to start raiding this too, like taking these things, but I haven't done it yet. But I probably should do it this turn, because this is basically the turn that Ulm has fallen. He's lost his cap, and he's basically out of the game. He had like a final cap defense too. I can't remember if he had a monolith or something inside. Like, everything's dead. He still has one castle with some mages in it, but he's basically out of the game. So we're going to go into vulture mode properly. We're building the fort now. You can see it was this turn. We weren't planning on building a fort. I was thinking, I mean, the reason I wanted to get in here so fast is because when you play the game a lot, you get an idea for when players are dead. And you don't want to, if you're going to vulture, you can't, a player's not going to tell you they're dead usually right when they're dead. You usually want to start vulturing like a little early. So we're still sending him money because he's still not completely dead and he may take back some of his stuff, but he's basically out of the game at this point. When you lose your capital and you only have one capital, you're mostly dead. You're mostly dead. Okay, so that's turn 41. Where are we on research? We are 2 turns away from Earthblood Deepwell. Our blood economy, how much did we get this turn? Yeah, we're still at about 25. We're probably getting another, I don't know. We got this hero, though. I don't know if I mentioned. This hero is really important for getting you, like, vampires and stuff. You have to be Death 4 to do vampires. So you often kind of have to empower her to do a vampire. But it's worth it. If you get other, like, magic path boosters, you can fix it. But a lot of times you're not going to. But yeah, that's where we are, guys. So we're going to keep going forward a little bit. And we'll see how close we can get caught up to the game. The other thing we've got... I still don't have construction queued up. We really need to go construction to start getting research boosters. But anyway, that's it, guys. I will see you next time. Take care.